Hey guys, so picking back up about peer recovery coaching, and so a little bit about my background and my lived experience. I became addicted to heroin when I was about 17 years old. I experimented with other drugs before that, but really got hooked on heroin when I was 17. And very quickly, my addiction progressed, and I started doing things, criminal stuff to obtain money to get drugs, crime, robbery, theft, all those kind of things. And at the age of 18, I was convicted of aggravated armed robbery and sentenced to 16 years in prison in the state of Colorado. And that was devastating. It's hard to think about that when you're 18 years old and they give you a 16-year sentence. That's pretty much your entire life, and that you think of, right? 16 years, you've only been alive for 18 years. That's crazy. And so it was devastating. And so I went to prison and I started fighting my appeal, and I ended up winning my appeal, and I gave back 8 years when I went back to trial and took a deal for 8 years. And so I ended up doing about 6.5 years in prison. I was out to the halfway house for about 27 days. Went back for a little bit of heroin in my wallet that was 4 years old from before I had gone to prison. It's a crazy story I'll get into later. Check that one out. That's a good story too. But yeah, so I did about 6.5 years, and I just recently got out. I was out for about 4.5 years, and no, that's not true. I was out for about 3.5 years, and I went back on a parole violation for a year to Skyline Correctional Facility. Ended up at a program called The Beacon, and that's where I really got into peer coaching, and that's how kind of all this started. And my mom's a licensed clinical therapist, and so that's kind of also a way that I got into this. She always has been telling me, you could really help people with your story, reach people and some youth, and that's really, God has put that on my heart, that's what I'm here to do, is to help reach people that are in the same position that I used to be in. And so that's really where my heart is in this, and I really just want to reach the youth, and I want to reach people that can't get out of their addiction or are struggling and don't think that there's hope out there, because I did it. And I'll give you guys a little bit more of my background, some photos, some stuff like that, because I was at a dark place. I was at rock bottom, and it's tough to talk about, and it's all right though, because it's worth it to me to be able to reach people and to be able to help. And so but I got out after that year, right before Thanksgiving in 2023, and so I've been out for a little bit over 6 months now, peer coaching and getting everything together. And I figured I've gotten things and learned a little bit enough now that I want to start trying to share it with the world and get it out there and start trying to reach as many people as I can. And so that's just the start of my background, guys. I'll get into it a whole lot more as we continue to go on, but keep following for more. Thanks, guys.